Hey beautiful people, it's Mel here, and I haven't really spoken to you guys in like a long time, but I was just so caught up with finals and exams and everything that I just did not have time to edit all my videos. But right now I'm back, and today's video is kind of different. I haven't really done anything like this before. Please take note of my throat. I lost my voice a couple of days ago, and I did a photo shoot with somebody, and my voice just completely went away, and thank God I had like my boyfriend there to actually kind of help me out, because otherwise I would not be able to even say a word to the girl. So he kind of helped me out with posing, so I didn't have to talk that much. And so today's video is kind of photography related, which is really cool because I have been taking photos for years, honestly, but I never really took it that serious until last year when I actually started my photography account on Instagram. That sounds like so weird. Like, I took it serious by starting a photography account on Instagram. Like, what the hell? But for today's video, I kind of wanted to do a tutorial on how to edit your photos like Lightroom/Photoshop style, but with apps that are completely free. Or, well, mostly completely free. Because honestly, if you're a starting photographer and you just bought a camera from like $1,000, or not even that, you just don't have any money, and you don't really have a client base to work from, you just don't want to subscribe. You don't want to subscribe to the Lightroom, Photoshop package. You just don't want to do that. Lightroom and Photoshop quality, you could do the same exact things. You could just kind of do a little bit less. Like, you can't do like the black tones, but whatever. I'm going to show you guys how I take this photo here, which is kind of completely, it's a photo of me. I let like my boyfriend take it. It's a pretty okay photo, but it's not special. And I'm going to transform it into this photo, which is pretty different. So I hope you guys like it, and I will start this tutorial right now. Okay, so to start off, I use 3 apps if I'm editing, all free apps, and it are PixArt, ViscoCam, and Color Story, I believe. And first I open up the picture in PixArt. It's just like the first base thing. It's kind of like having like raw edits. Before I take it into Photoshop, you can edit it raw, so you can kind of make minor adjustments, which is what I'm doing in PixArt. So I'm first just cropping this photo to my liking because the actual image is way too big and way too amateur looking, so I'm just going to crop it, and my camera can do that. It's like really cool. And I'm just adjusting the brightness, the contrast, and the saturation. Those are the 3 things that I always adjust, which I also adjust in like RAW, because it just kind of makes more details pop out, or makes the background darker. And you have like this, you know, you have like this, what is it? It's like a remover. And you could just like remove images that you think are also too dark or also too light, and you could just kind of do it like separately, which is like really cool. And then for this photo in particular, I kind of wanted to make it look very fairy and very gothic and very fantasy looking. So I just took this photo that I took in bokeh. So I just put my camera to manual and just make everything blurry of like flowers, and I'm just putting that over the actual image. And when you do that, you want to make sure that the sides of the image are not that, visible. So I just kind of remove that to make it look softer, and I'm just kind of placing it wherever I like and wherever I think it looks good, because I really want this photo to be very fantasy-like. I mean, kind of like Irene. I don't know if you know Irene, like the photographer. She's really cool. And then I'm just removing parts that I think are too much, or that I don't like, or that I just do not feel like are good in the picture. And then I just kind of start playing with the opacity, which is like really important. You always need to play with the opacity, because if you just do it on full opacity, it will just look so fake. Like, what? So it kind of makes it look like there's like a little bit of smoke, I guess, but not really. I just find that it looks so romantic and so cute. And as you can see, the image is kind of has lost a little bit of detail. So then I open it up in ViscoCam, which is available only for iPhones, so I'm so sorry. And I'm just going to play around with the presets. I mean, what I like about Lightroom is that you can buy presets, and that's what you could do with ViscoCam as well. You could just buy a preset and like a package of presets, and that's what you could do in Lightroom as well. You could just like buy Jessica Kobesi's preset or Irene's preset. But honestly, I don't like presets in Lightroom that much, but I do like the presets here. I'm going to play around with the brightness, with the contrast, and with the highlight tone and the shadow tone. Those are my favorite things. I mean, I always like to take my shadows, make my shadows red and my highlights either blue or pink. I don't necessarily do like the orange or green or blue ones. I used to have a phase where always the blue shadows everywhere, and it was my theme on Insta. So then I'm saving that, and then I'm opening it into Color Story, which is my third app that I really highly do recommend. I found it on Instagram actually, I didn't even know it. So they have a free presets, like filters. I always call them presets, but whatever. They have free filters that you could just use, and I try to just kind of only use the free ones because I feel like if I don't use the free ones, what is this video even for? So I'm just kind of looking what looks best on it, and as always, I love contrast, so I'm going off on a contrast. And I find that Color Story actually does have filters that make the contrast like super cool but not make it look super cheap, which is what I love. So then I'm just going to adjust because I am not really the filter type of girl. So then they have this curve line, which you also have in Lightroom, and I love the Lightroom curve line. You can even do like the black curves and the white curves. You can't do that here, but you can do like the blue ones, the green ones, the red ones, and then just like the normal one. So I'm just playing around with that curves. Since this photo is a little bit more fairy-like, I kind of wanted to make it very pink, which is kind of what I did. And I usually don't do the green one. I usually do the red one and the blue one in this app because I find the green one is way too dramatic. So I'm just playing around with that, and then usually I do the brightness because when you have exposure, there's a difference between brightness and exposure. Exposure just gives the image so much more light, but brightness just lightens it up. So I just love to play around with the brightness and the vibrance. There's also like a difference between saturation and vibrance. Vibrance is just the vibrance of the colors, and the saturation is how saturated they'll be. And I know a lot of people are confused between brightness and exposure and saturation and vibrance. So yeah, and this is the finished product, which I really do like. I tried to recreate a photo that I edited a week or 2 weeks ago, which kind of, in my opinion, was a little bit better, but honestly, you can never really get like this, you can't redo it exactly like you did it. So this is just the way I edit it if I do it on my iPad, if I do it on free. So this is also what I recommend to starting photographers, because I'm also like a starting photographer, but I started like ages ago. A perfect way because there's not too much. You could just do one app at a time. You don't have to do all three of them. I think each of them works great individually. I just find that, you know, I don't get the desired effect that I want. I don't get the desired look that I want from just one app. So, but that's just my personal preference because I love Lightroom and I love Photoshop, but I just don't get that full effect on one of these apps. But honestly, I just love it, and I think you guys should really, it's really helpful if you just kind of want to do little something for no money. If you guys liked it, and make sure to subscribe and like this video, and make sure to follow my Instagram links down below. I have Stastil, which is the same name as my username, which is my personal Instagram, it's my blog, and then I have Fuck Your Stupid Centers, which is my photography photography account. So I hope you guys liked all of that, and make sure to subscribe and all that bullshit and comment if you liked it.